there, it's Tanya and Joanne again. We're here to show you now an occupied bed with a patient in it, now that you've seen the video for the unoccupied bed. So there's a couple differences that we want to point out before we start. One is that we now have clean gloves on after doing hand hygiene, and we want to protect ourselves because now we have possibly soiled sheets that a patient has been on. And we also want to protect our uniforms because we're going from patient to patient with that same uniform on. We need to be careful that we're not getting any blood or body fluids on our uniform. So when we're taking the linens off, we'll make sure that they stay away from our uniform and right into the soiled linen holdings. So we have Mr. Sickley here, and we've explained what we're going to do to him. We're going to change his sheets because he's unable to get out of the bed to do this. So we're going to take off your sheets, Mr. Sickley. We'll try and keep you covered as much as possible. So Joanne's going to put on a back blanket or cover sheet. Okay, and you can notice that the bed is up to an appropriate height for the two of us, that we're comfortable, we're not going to hurt our backs. And I'm going to ask Mr. Sickley to possibly bend up this knee if he can, or I'll assist. And reach over here. So I'm going to just let Joanne hold him in that position for a second while I put my bed rail up. The bed rail serves two purposes. One, that your patient won't roll and roll out. So it protects them from doing that, but it also allows them to reach for something. So he can reach for the rail and feels a little bit more secure in holding on to that. And it's less work for me. So I'm just going to hold him, right here.
I'm going to, on my side, just kind of tuck and fan the sheets so that the dirty sheets don't come in contact really with the new clean sheets that I'm going to put on. So in some instances, if there's quite a large amount of soiling, sometimes we even put a towel in between the two just to make sure. But basically I want to keep the dirty away from the clean. So I'm going to start with the clean on my side.
Doing okay, Mr. Sickley?
Sure that those two just kind of meet but don't. I got to be conscious of this clean sheet, that it doesn't run into the other sheet. And I think that's good. We can roll them back, and
okay.
I don't have a soaker, so that's okay.
Now's a good time to do a skin assessment. So Joanne wants to just take a look or do any peri-care or give his back a wash. This is a good time to do that. All right.
Maybe put a new slider sheet under. Okay, and I'm going to put them up my way. All right, and come on over my way.
Bend this up.
I want to be real cautious of my body mechanics because now I'm the one reaching. So I want to bend my knees. Hold on to the rail.
And I'm going to put my rail down so that I don't have to reach over it. Mr. Sickley's pillow. And now, because of the bottom sheets, these are the dirty ones, I'm just going to roll them up and I'm going to get rid of them, keeping them away from my uniform.
Now, on the roll through, is he clean? I could, from my side, I could see some, but all clean from your side.
All clean. Skin is good.
Okay.
So we'll just take this off because he has his Johnny shirt to cover him. And we're just proceeding with the same way that we made the unoccupied bed, except we're doing it on top of a patient.
Hold it a little different.
Some patients like a lot of blankets, some don't like very many blankets at all. They find it too confining, or maybe if it's a patient that has a fever, they might find it too hot. So again, we're looking for the stripe down the middle, the fold in the middle. Okay, so at this point, it's maybe similar to what you prefer at home. We could tuck the sheets at the bottom, but some people find that too restricting on their feet. So this is just left open at the end. So we could just drape the blankets and leave them open, so then it doesn't interfere with his feet or movement of his feet. Some people find that too confining. But we could just do it loosely at the bottom and proceed to make our corners again. So it kind of depends, it's patient preference. There. Now would you like an extra blanket, Mr. Sickly? No, you're good?
Okay, and I'll give him a fresh pillowcase. So I'm just going to open up the pillowcase and basically snatch it with my other hand so that it's there. And I'm going to hold on to the pillow and just pull it down. And that kind of keeps us from bouncing it around and shaking it too much in the air. And I'm just going to cuff it. So I'm going to put the lower portion in and just kind of pull so that there's no kind of ends hanging out. Okay?
Great.
We'll
Off
switch
the
them up.
his head. Great.
There. Mr. Sickly,
I'll change this
all
one.
settled.
Great. So we'll take our gloves off and do hand hygiene and make sure our patient's rails are up.